The Velveteen Rabbit. There once was a Velveteen Rabbit. His coat was spotted brown and white. He had whiskers made of thread. His ears were made of pink satin. On Christmas morning, he sat at the top of the boy's stocking. There were other things in the stocking: candy, oranges, and a toy train. But the boy liked the rabbit best of all. That night, and for many nights after, the Velveteen Rabbit slept in the boy's bed. At first, the rabbit was uncomfortable. The boy hugged him very tight, and sometimes rolled over on top of him. But very soon, the rabbit grew to like the boy. The boy talked to him and made tunnels for him under the sheets, just like the burrows real rabbits live in, the boy said. The boy whispered secrets to the rabbit. When the boy fell asleep, the rabbit snuggled under the boy's warm chin. "What is real?" Rabbit asked his friend Rocking Horse one day. Rocking Horse was very wise and knew all about nursery magic. "When a child loves you for a long time, then you become real," said the horse. The rabbit sighed. He wanted to become real, but he knew it would take a long time. Spring came, and the little rabbit was very happy. The boy and the rabbit had long days together in the garden. Wherever the boy went, the rabbit went too. They had rides in the wheelbarrow and picnics on the grass. One night, the boy could not find Rabbit. He cried and cried until Rabbit was found and placed back in his arms. "It's just a toy," his nanny said. "He isn't a toy," the boy cried. "He is real." The nursery magic had worked. Rabbit was no longer just a toy. He was real. In the long evenings of summer, the boy took the rabbit into the forest. He always set the rabbit under a tree before playing. One evening, when the rabbit was alone, two rabbits crept out of the tall brush. "They must be a new kind of toy," thought the Velveteen Rabbit. The rabbits stared at him and twitched their noses. The rabbit stared back. "Why don't you play with us?" one of them asked. "Can't you hop on your hind legs?" "He hasn't got any hind legs," said the other rabbit. "He isn't real." The two rabbits laughed and hopped away. "I am real," the Velveteen Rabbit called after them. "The boy said so." He almost began to cry. The Velveteen Rabbit wanted to know what it was like to be real, like the other rabbits. Soon the boy came and carried him home. Weeks later, the boy became very sick. The rabbit stayed close to the boy. He knew the boy needed him. He snuggled and whispered to the boy each night. He whispered about the time when the boy would be well again and they would go out in the garden to play. Soon the boy got better. A new bedroom was set up for him. The rabbit was excited to move to the new room. The boy was lifted out of his old bed and dressed. As the boy went to his new room, the rabbit was left behind. "These toys must be thrown away," the doctor said. "They are full of germs." So the little rabbit was put into a bag with other rubbish and carried out to the end of the garden. That night, the boy slept in his new bedroom with a new bunny. It was a splendid bunny, all white and very soft. The boy was too excited to miss his old rabbit. The Velveteen Rabbit felt very lonely. He shivered in the cold night air. He thought of all the happy times he had had with the boy. He thought about the wonderful day when he became real. He was very sad, for he knew he would never see the boy again. Then a tear, a real tear, trickled down his velvet nose and fell to the ground. A strange thing happened. Where the tear had fallen, a flower grew out of the ground. It had slender green leaves. Soon the blossom opened. Out of it stepped a fairy. "I am the nursery magic fairy," she said. "I take care of all the toys that children have loved. When the children don't need them anymore, I come and make them real." "Wasn't I real before?" asked the rabbit. "You were real to the boy," the fairy said, "because he loved you. Now you shall be real to everyone." She held the rabbit in her arms and flew with him into the forest. In the grass between the trees, the wild rabbits danced. But when they saw the fairy, they stopped dancing. "I've brought you a new friend," the fairy said. The fairy kissed the little rabbit and put him down on the grass. "Run and play, little rabbit," said the fairy, but the little rabbit did not move. He did not know that the fairy's kiss had turned him into a real rabbit. Just then, his nose tickled. Before he knew what he was doing, he lifted his hind foot to scratch the itch. Instead of velveteen, he had soft brown fur. His ears twitched and his whiskers brushed the grass. He leaped and jumped sideways. "I am a real rabbit at last!" he cheered. Autumn passed and Christmas came again. The boy went out to play in the snow. While he was playing, 2 rabbits crept out from the brush. One of them was white all over, but the other was spotted brown and white. The boy thought he looked familiar. "He looks just like my rabbit that was lost when I was sick," the boy said. The boy never knew that it really was his own rabbit, come back to see the child who had first helped him to be real. Think about it. How does the relationship between the boy and the Velveteen Rabbit change in the story? Why does the Velveteen Rabbit want to be real? What information about the setting does the author use to show time passing?